Jetsun Pema and Jigme Wangchuk are among the most exquisite royal couples. Their love story had a joyful ending, like to an Asian fairy tale. However, a king is required by custom to have many wives. Better still, if they are the first wife's sisters. She does, in fact, have sisters that would make any model envious, and the king is allowed to wed one of them. Why had he never done it before? Also, why is he unable to wed the second sister? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe my channel. Let's get started. This story may be the basis for an interesting television series, but it would need to incorporate both a mystical and a dramatic line. Bhutan is, after all, a genuinely fantastical country that retains some of its medieval traditions. This is because of how far away it is from civilization. High in the mountains in Tibet is the country of Bhutan. Here, yaks are utilized in place of cars, the journey is measured in cups of tea consumed along the way, and Buddha is highly venerated. The people here think that fate and afterlife are real. The tale of King Jigme's meeting with his future bride Jetsun most likely served to reinforce the beliefs of the Bhutanese people. The Bhutanese crown prince was just 17 years old during the first meeting. Jetsun was exactly 7 years old, so she was significantly younger than he was. Upon noticing the girl playing with toys, the prince looked into her eyes and declared with assurance, "I will take you as my wife when you grow up." "Only if I don't meet someone better and you don't forget," the young Jetsun gently said. The young people's marriage 14 years later is what makes the situation so mysterious. By that time, Jetsun had studied brilliantly in India's neighbor. Jigme received his diplomas from Oxford University in Britain and Boston University in the United States, respectively. Along with becoming a king, he succeeded his father, who had made the decision to retire. Jigme was 28 years old in 2006 when this occurred. He rose to become Bhutan's youngest ruler in its history. After 4 years, the state was rocked by dramatic news. Following 14 years, the monarch honored his promise to the little girl by giving her his hand and heart. It was probably not too difficult for him to make this choice. In the end, Jetsun developed into a sophisticated, self-assured beauty, possessing both Western manners and an exotic charm. The girl accepted since she couldn't find someone better, and the wedding was celebrated by everyone in Bhutan. Since October 11th, 2011, was deemed the most auspicious day by court astrologers, it was held on that day. All the procedures of the old Tibetan customs were strictly followed during the ceremony. Following the opulent rituals, Jigme and Jetsun were pronounced husband and wife by the High Lama. With the placing of a crown on his wife's head, the Bhutanese refer to their monarch as the Dragon King. Then, the unimaginable occurred. Jigme gave his young bride a kiss on the lips in front of everyone. Many may wonder why this is such a huge deal. The truth is that in Bhutan, it is illegal to show affection in public. For expressing such sentiments, one may have been transported to an underground prison 60 or 70 years ago. But the young king disobeyed a major social taboo because he was so infatuated with his bride. Surprisingly enough, the majority of the Bhutanese did not condemn him at all. Of course, a big part of it is due to the fact that Bhutan, a mountainous country, is becoming more liberal with the passing of time. However, the locals' attitude toward the monarch and queen continues to be the primary cause. The people truly adore and are proud of their monarchs. Jigme and Jetsun's democratic actions play a part in this. They used to frequently stroll hand in hand across the capital city of Thimphu before getting married. They were able to have open conversations and even sit at an adjacent cafe table. Even after the wedding, the newlyweds continued to behave in this way. They made the decision to live in a modest one-story home rather than a royal castle. They continue to walk the streets and openly declare their love for one another. Jigme actively worked to enhance living conditions in Bhutan in order to demonstrate that the monarch loved the people as much as his one and only wife. Ownerless property was granted to impoverished peasants, and business started to grow in the nation, which was nearly medieval. The Dragon King's wife is his devoted helper in bringing the state up to date. She oversees the advancement of education, culture, and medicine, and has had great success in these fields. Regarding her family, Jetsun gave birth to 2 children with her spouse. Khazar was the couple's heir apparent, born 5 years after the wedding. Regarding his pregnant wife, the king was extremely concerned. He was there when the baby was born, because he could not bear to part from his lover, even for a moment. Onyen, another prince, was born 4 years later. These days, a wife goes on in other countries' vacations with her husband and assists him in talks. Other countries' aristocratic peers also pay a visit to Bhutan's royal pair. The trip to the mountainous nation by British Prince William and his spouse Kate Middleton was among the most fascinating. Though the couple's cultures are different, there is a subtle similarity between them. Jetsun naturally became friends with Kate and even taught her how to shoot an arrow. Jigme broke centuries of custom to get close to the future king of Britain and share the tale of his love affair. If it weren't for the deeply ingrained polygamous tradition in Bhutan, everything would be ideal. Of course, and it works both ways. The regular people have it the other way around, but an aristocracy is simply required to take 3 or 4 spouses. A lady may have 5 or even 10 husbands. This is typical. The king was compelled by his status as a wealthy and aristocratic person to marry multiple times. According to tradition, they were to be sisters of the first wife. King Simi, the father of Jigme, followed this tradition to the letter. Following his marriage to Wangmo, he married 3 of her sisters. They had borne him 10 children in all. In addition, Queen Jetsun has 2 equally gorgeous sisters, and the king is customarily permitted to wed one of them right away. However, he also disregarded this patriarchal custom. The monarch has made it clear that he would not be married again. Here is how he articulated his role as a man and a ruler. Bhutan is ruled by love now, whereas it was once ruled by antiquated customs. By the way, the blatant disregard for the tradition of sister marriages was fixed. Dorji, his younger brother, was forced to accept the blame for Jigme. He was the one who wed Yatso, one of the king's wife's sisters. There's no denying her beauty, so the marriage was barely forced. Dorji claims that he was enamored with the attractive and intelligent female. Furthermore, the man made the decision to follow his elder brother's lead and not take other women as wives. The king or his brother might decide to change their minds at any point, even though the queen's sister is single. Ironically, all 4 of his father's wives showed up for the king's brother's wedding. They grinned sorrowfully as they accepted Dorji's decision to live by the tenet of one love, one wife. The Dragon King. Jigme's and his soul wife's lovely and somewhat mystical love tale is far from ended. The monarchs rule the country, enjoy life and love. Their lives are proof that true love can break even the ancient traditions of an entire country. Subscribe to the channel, put a like, see you soon.